believe that right now there's a crisis at the border?
I think that the answer is no.
As we wait for Title 42 to end, Joe Biden's border crisis is only getting worse by the minutes. An editorial here from the New York Post that says the border crisis will only get worse after Title 42 ends. And if you don't know what Title 42 is, I'll read it really quick to you. Title 42 is the order allowing authorities to swiftly expel migrants at the U.S. land borders. The policy is widely known as Title 42 for the proportion of U.S. code that allows the CDC director to use it. In a ruling last month, a U.S. District Judge, Emmett Sullivan, ordered the government to end the arbitrary policy. So thank you, Mr. Sullivan. It's only going to get worse down there at the border. I think the border was out of control before. Just wait a short 8 days after which the Biden administration must stop deporting people under the Title 42 COVID health emergency measure. An estimated 40,000 are waiting to get in, and thousands more will follow. This is going to be the biggest crisis in American history. The sheer numbers threaten to overwhelm El Paso and other bordering towns. Expect more buses to arrive at Port Authority. Most of the media will describe this rush as asylum seekers. Keep that in mind when you're watching all your regular news. The CNN, the CBS's, the NBCs, they're all going to say these are asylum seekers. And we know that's bullshit. We know it's bullshit, and we know it's bullshit in Biden's America. So it says most of the media will describe this rush as asylum seekers, and it may be strictly true. That says they mean to ask for asylum, but economic opportunities cannot be based for an asylum claim. Most people crossing should not qualify for it, and Biden lets them in anyway. Do you think they'll leave? Even if a judge rules against them and says 5 years, by that point, Democrats will be pushing for amnesty for all. And that's what they want. The more people they have on their side, the more votes they'll get. And this helps them continue to keep pushing their liberal agenda. Did you see this? The state of Arizona is being sued by the Department of Justice right now for using shipping containers to contain the border wall between the US and Mexico. They have no other way to do this because Biden stopped building the wall. The minute Biden got into office, he stopped building the wall. He didn't want that. He didn't want the wall being built anymore. So Arizona now has no recourse, and they're now stacking shipping containers with razor wire on it to create some type of border between the US and Mexico to stop migrants from passing illegally over into our US borders. The US government sued Arizona government Doug Ducey and the state Wednesday over the placement of shipping containers as a barrier on the border with Mexico, saying it is trespassing on federal lands. This is what Biden wants. He wants open borders. He doesn't want a wall. He wants open borders. He doesn't want protection for Americans. He wants open borders. If they didn't want it, then why are they suing? Why are they suing? The complaint was filed in the U.S. District Court, comes 3 weeks before Republican governor steps aside for Democratic governor-elect Katie Hobbs, who has said she opposes the construction. So previous to her, they were doing everything down there to secure the border. And 3 weeks before Ducey step aside for the incoming Katie Hobbs, she files a motion in district court saying that she opposes the protection of the U.S. border. This is insane. This is the America that they want. Ducey told U.S. officials earlier this week that Arizona is ready to help remove the containers, which he said were placed as a temporary barrier. They have no choice. They have to do something to secure the border. But he wants the U.S. government to say when it will fill any remaining gaps in a permanent border wall, as it was announced it would a year ago. And this is not going to happen. This is over. You know, now that Hobbs is in there, you'll never hear this again. The border will be strictly just open. The U.S. owes it to Arizonians and all Americans to release a timeline, he wrote in a letter on Tuesday responding to the news of the pending federal complaint. Border security was a focus of Donald Trump's presidency and remains a key issue for Republican politicians. This is an article from Newsweek back in September. It says border crossings are 3 times higher under Biden than Trump. It's right there in black and white. The U.S. Border Patrol is reporting more than 3 times the number of encounters at the U.S.-Mexico border than it experienced under former President Donald Trump, punctuating that Republicans have defined as a crisis-level situation at the southern border that has emerged under President Joe Biden's leadership. Well, why has that happened? Maybe to do the fact that on day one, he stepped in and stopped building the wall that Trump put together because it's racist. We can't have a wall, it's racist. The data from the U.S. Border Patrol and Offices of Field Operations compiled by Newsweek show that an average number of encounters under Biden reached totals of roughly 189,000 per month, compared to an average of just 51,000 per month during the Trump presidency. It's right there. It's in black and white. And this is back in September. I can only imagine what it's like now in December, just days away as Title 42 is getting ready to end. So what do you think of all of this? Are you getting afraid that in a couple of days, Title 42 is going to end and we're going to have a massive surge at the border? Let me know down there in the comments. Do you think that Biden's going to control this? Does he care? Does anybody in Biden's administration care? Let me know down in the comments below. And the best thing that you can do, please make sure to like this video, share this content, and subscribe. I really need you guys to subscribe, hit that bell notification, interact on these videos so I can keep continuing to make content like this for all of you, so we can keep continuing to spread the correct message across America. And as always, remember to talk live and talk loud. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.